Hi friends, welcome back to my session. And before of this session, we had discussed about the VPC, how we are going to create the VPC, how we are going to create the resources in VPC, what are the components in VPC, everything we had discussed in the last session. And we had discussed about the batch and host, everything we had covered in the previous session. And coming to the current session, we are going to discuss about the one more important topic, that is NAT. NAT stands for Network Address Translation. Here in the current session, we are going to discuss about the what is the purpose of NAT and where we are going to use this NAT, and everything we are going to discuss in this session, both theoretical and practical. Okay, just please have a look on this. First of all, we are going to cover the theoretical part. Then after that, you will understand the practical session. So the NAT stands for Network Address Translation. In the name itself suggests NAT is used to share the internet with the private subnet. Means, suppose if I had created any instance in the public subnet, the public subnet is associated with the public route table. Because of that, the instances which has been created in the public subnet will be able to access the internet. But coming to the scenario of private subnet, the private subnet is associated with the private route table, and it will never ever will be able to communicate with the internet. So that's why whatever the instances which has been created in the private subnet will never ever will be able to access the internet, because of there is no gateway. Okay, here the NAT gateway will comes into the force. The NAT gateway is created in the public subnet, and with the help of NAT gateway, the instances which has been created in the private subnet will be able to access the internet. Then what is the purpose to share the internet access for the private instances which has been created in the private subnet? Because almost except the web browsers, that is why web server except web browsers, rest of all the servers I am going to place in the private subnets only, because of I don't want to access my instances from internet. Almost all of my servers are in the private subnets only, except which servers need to communicate with private, it means internet, like the web servers only will be able to communicate with the public internet. Rest of all the servers will be in the private subnet only, because of for security reasons, where I have the database server, it is my and at the same time my application code. In application server I have my application code. At the same time in database servers I have my all of my company database. I never ever want to lose my data. So that's why I'm going to create my instances or the services in the private subnets only. But I want the, suppose if I want to update the patches which is has been recently released, the security patches, that may be upgrade patches, whatever it may be, if I want to update any patches, then how? Suppose if it is one or two instances, it will be okay. But if it is more than 100 instances at a time, means whatever the instances may be, the count may be. Suppose if I want to update the patches, then at the time it needs to get the updates from the internet only. So at that time there is a need of NAT gateway. Whenever the NAT gateway has been attached to the private subnet instances, then the private subnet instances will be able to communicate with the internet. And one more thing you just need to remember, NAT service will always must be created in the public subnet only. And I will show one diagram to you. If you see this diagram, then you will get a better understanding how the flow will be going. Suppose if you take this is a VPC. VPC is nothing but the virtual private cloud. This is one isolated boundary which we are going to create in the AWS network. Okay, AWS network is a huge network, and AWS will provide the default network as well. Instead of creating my resources in the default VPC, what I will do, I am going to create my customized VPC where I am going to design my security rules, and at the same time whatever the requirement I have, based on my requirement I am going to create the resources and the infrastructure as well. Suppose if I want the 10 subnets and 10 private subnets, accordingly my requirement, I am going to create those subnets in my VPC. Okay, VPC is nothing but a logical boundary, and whenever I have created VPC, I am going to create the one internet gateway. Through this internet gateway, and this internet gateway will be attached to the one VPC. one internet gateway will be attached to the one VPC only, and whatever the traffic, the incoming traffic and outgoing traffic will made through the internet gateway only. Okay, if the internet gateway is not there, then VPC will not able to communicate with the internet. Just please have a look on this. And so once the VPC has been created and internet gateway has been created and the internet gateway has been attached to the VPC, then I'm going to create the subnet. We have the, as we discussed in the last session, we have two types of subnets. The one is public subnet and the second one is private subnet. The public subnet is associated with the public route table. The public route table has the route to the internet gateway, means the instances which has been created in the public subnet will be automatically able to communicate with the internet, and the instances which has been created in the private subnet doesn't associate with the public route table. It has been associated with the private route table, means it doesn't have any route to access the internet. So that's why the private subnet instances will be able to communicate with the internet. So here what I will do, I am going to create the NAT instances or NAT gateway. I will let you know what is NAT gateway and what is NAT instances. Just please, for now, just please remember NAT gateway. I am going to create the NAT gateway in the public subnet, because of if I created the NAT gateway in the private subnet, how the NAT gateway will be able to access the internet. So that's why I am going to create the NAT gateway in the public subnet, and that NAT gateway will be attached to the private subnet. Okay, what will happen if I do like that? The instances which has been created in the private subnet, with the help of NAT gateway, it will be able to communicate with the internet. Okay, guys, I hope you understand. You understood it. Fine. Types of NAT services. One is NAT instance and the second one is NAT gateway. How we can conclude? What is the basic difference between the NAT instance and the NAT gateway? The NAT instance is nothing but the one of the EC2 instances, whether it will be the customized or it will be the Amazon Linux image. Means not the Amazon Linux image, it will be the AMI of NAT. Sometimes what happened, the AWS will provide the NAT AMI. So if I had created the instance by using the NAT AMI, then I don't need to configure anything manually. Everything will be pre-configured. The simple plug and play can I use as a NAT instance, and the security patches, the services, the NAT software, everything will be taken care by the AWS. Suppose I don't want any AMI which has been provided by the AWS for security purpose. I just want to create the NAT. I just want to create one instance, EC2 instance as in a general, and I want to convert that EC2 instances as a NAT instances. Then what I need to do? So there is a simple step. You can find it out on the AWS documents. By using that process, we can be able to configure the instance as a NAT instance. NAT instance in AWS. Just click here. You will be redirected to the document section. Here you can find the AWS documentation. So if you follow these steps, then you will be able to configure. I will let you know. NAT configuration in EC2 instance. AWS document. Okay, just please see here. A NAT AMI is configured to run NAT on a EC2 instances. Suppose if you have created any EC2 instances, just following the same. Just suppose you assume you are going to create the Amazon Linux 2023 or Amazon Linux 2 mission. You need to run these commands. Once this command has been done, then you need to create by using the VIator. we are going to create this path, and in this path you need to enter this, and everything has been provided here. So by using this document you can configure your EC2 instance as a NAT instances. But in real time, the NAT instance is never ever recommended, because of, if suppose in my environment, suppose if I have the 100 servers are there, suppose if that 100 servers are which has been created in the private subnets will need to update at a time. If 100 instances request at a time, is that one NAT instance will be able to communicate is sufficient to satisfy the request, those 100 requests? No. At the time, what the requirement is, I need to create the capacity of the NAT instances. How it will be done? Either by doing the vertical scaling or by doing the horizontal scaling. Vertical scaling is nothing but increasing the resource of the EC2 instances, means increasing the RAM, increasing the process, increasing the CPU by doing that. But in vertical scaling, there is a downtime. But if you take the horizontal scaling, I need to create one more EC2 instances, the same configuration, I need to start. But everything is in manual and it will not at all recommended. And the OS maintenance, monthly updates, software updates, network bandwidth related issues, everything I need to maintain. So that's why, in order to avoid this type of clumsiness and this type of dependency, what AWS will suggest, means what AWS will provide, instead of suggestion, we can think like that. AWS will provide the NAT gateway. It will provide the convenient way for maintaining the NAT gateway. Means everything will be taken care by the AWS only. The patches, the software upgrades, the network bandwidth, mainly the queries is mainly the thing is network bandwidth. Everything will be taken care by the AWS only. So what I will do, up to now we had discussed about the theoretical session. We can quickly jump into the practical session, then you will get the better understanding. Okay, I will open the AWS, sign in the console, and click on next, click on sign in. Okay. Right now I'm in which region? Northern Virginia region. Just to go to VPC. Okay. VPC. Will I have any VPC? Yes, I have one VPC, which is default VPC. So I don't want to use the default VPC. I'm just going to create the one VPC. My VPC, just I'm going to create everything in a manual way. My test, otherwise my underscore first VPC. My first VPC, the CIDR range will be, just please have a look here. I am going to create in this CIDR 192.168.0.0/16, means here based on the slider range we can decide how many hosts we can be equipped in this particular slider range. Here /16 indicates 256 into 256. These many IPs we can be able to configure in this slider range. Okay, fine. Just copy the same. I'm going to create the slider range like this. Okay, 192.168.0.0/16, and I need no IPv6, and the channel is default. Just create VPC. VPC will be created, and go to the subnets. Right now I have some default subnets. I am going to create one more subnet, that is first one. I am going to create public underscore subnet for your reference. Okay, public subnet, and my availability zone is 1A. I'm just simply, if you want to do not set anything, you can set no preference. The CIDR range is like that, and IPv4 range is 192.168.1.0/24. Here 256 IPs host can be accommodated. Okay, this is public subnet. I just named it as a public subnet, but it is until the public route table has been associated with this public subnet, it will never ever become the public subnet. Just for the naming convention, I just make it a public subnet, and I'm going to create one more subnet. That is the private subnet, private underscore subnet. Okay, and I am going to create in the 1A availability zone only, and the CIDR range is 192.168.2.0 okay 24. This is the private subnet range. And internet gateway, as I don't have any internet gateway, this is default internet gateway. If you want it, you can delete it as from VPC, and you can delete as well, delete internet gateway, and this is a default. Okay, either if you want to delete the default gateway, you can delete, and once it has been deleted, if you want to create the default VPC, you can create accordingly based on your requirement. Okay, and my first VPC IGW internet gateway. Okay, create internet gateway. Okay, so once the internet gateway has been created, what the thing we need to do? You just need to attach it to the VPC. For which VPC I am going to catch? My wish to VPC. Okay, attach internet gateway. The thing will be done. And go to route table. Right now I have the default route table. Just create route table. In route table we have two types of route tables are there. The first one is public route table. I just named it as a public underscore RT, and the VPC my first VPC, and just click on create route table. Just once the route table has been created, just check the routes. By default, the instances which has been created in the one VPC will be able to communicate with the all the other instances which has been created in the same VPC. Internally means locally. Here I need to edit the routes. Okay, and here I am going to create the one more route. Just remove. What the thing I need to select? Internet gateway. The target is internet gateway, and the internet gateway is I had created my first VPC, and the destination is 0.0.0/0. Okay, means through internet gateway it will reach the request to the internet. Just click on save changes. Okay, then what I need to do, I need to associate this route table, edit subnet association. I am associating public subnet. What I had done, the public route table has been, the public subnet has been associated with the public route table. Then whatever, if I created any instances in the public subnet, then it will be able to communicate with the public. And what I will do, I am going to create private. By default we have the main route table, it will act as a private route table only, but in the similar way, for your sake of clarity, I'm going to create one more route table that is called the private route table, which is in the same VPC, the first VPC. Okay, and here the default route has been created, and subnet association, edit subnet association. I am just going to associate with the private subnet. Okay, save associate. Fine. And right now, do you have any route through NAT gateway? Right, up to now I didn't have created any NAT gateway, so that's why I didn't create any route here. Just please have a look. And this NAT gateway is chargeable basis. Okay, and for once the NAT gateway has been created, it needs to attach to the elastic IP. The elastic IP is nothing but the static IP. Suppose if you created any elastic IP, then For the first hour, it will never ever charge. After that, within the hour, what we need to do, we need to associate that as elastic IP to either NAT gateway or the EC2 instances. Otherwise, it will be charged. Okay, for the first hour, it will not charge. After 1 hour, if still I am not going to associate with any of the resources, then it will be charged. Okay, and the NAT gateway is not the free tier eligible, it is also the chargeable. So that's why I recommend you, whenever you had completed the task, immediately just deleted all the components which you had created for the lab purpose. Do not forget everything, do not forget to do these things. Okay, fine. Right now, simply what I will do, okay, I am going to create the duplicate tab. In the tab, I am going to create, what I will do, I am just going to create one EC2 instance. Okay, EC2. Right now, what I will do, I am going to create one EC2 instance in the private subnet. Then I will check whether it will be able to communicate with internet or not. Launch EC2 instance. Okay. Private, suppose application, generally what we have put, application server. Assume like that. Application server and the Windows Server 2022 base, it is free tier eligible, and the instance type is T2 micro, and the key pair is, will I have any key pair in this? AWS underscore key is there. Just check AWS underscore key is there. No, I will do one thing. Just I am going to create the one key pair. Application underscore application server underscore key pair. Okay, rsa.pem. Just create the key pair, and what it will do, it will download in the downloads folder. I will do one thing, just to go to downloads and copy here. Okay, and in the meanwhile, what I will do, okay, network settings, edit the network setting, and right now it is showing default, so I am just changing it to the my first VPC. I am selecting the private instance, and auto as in public IP I just put in the disable because of the public IP is not required, and create a security group. Select, I am going to check. Okay, as I don't have any VPC. Hello RDP, otherwise hello all traffic. Okay, hello all traffic. Okay, hello all traffic, and I am adding the rule from anywhere all traffic. So from source anywhere, the type is, it is in security group we only provided the inbound rules only. There is no outbound rules, and the security group is a stateful firewall. Once the incoming traffic come, and it will automatically support the return traffic as well, unlike NACL. Okay, just please remember this point, and just create the launch EC2 instance. Once the instance has been launched, just check it is not associated with any public IP, because I just make it as disabled because I don't need the public IP. Means if my instance has a public IP, there is a chance there is somebody from outside of the network, they will be able to access my server. So I just do not want to do that mistake, because of if somebody will be able to access my server, then there is a business continuity issue. Then I lose my data. So if companies, how the companies will think, if they lose the data, then how they are going to the cloud services. It's not at all possible. Okay, and for this Windows machine, it will take some time to get it started. So once this machine has been started, I'm just going to connect. I will show it to you. Just it is running state. Just please have a look. Is any public IP is there? No, there is no public IP. Will I able to communicate with private IP? No. What the series I had set? 192.168.2.0. The series which I have set for the private instances. In the similar way, what the IP will get? 192.168.2.129. So this is the IP. So can I RTP this private IP? Is it possible? No. So if I want to connect this and at the same time, just and one more thing, if I want to connect to this mission, how I will be able to connect? I am going to create one more EC2 instances in the public subnet. Okay. Launch EC2 instance. Web server, because of it is exposed, it has been created in the public subnet, so that's why. Okay, I just had selected the Windows server and the T2 micro, everything is normal, and the application server key pair I am going to use the same application server key pair, and here the network thing I am going to select the my first VPC as well as the subnet public subnet, and the public IP will be enabled, and the a security group will be the allow all traffic. Okay, I am going to launch the instance. It will take some time to get it launched. So what I will do, so here it is still pending state only. So just now it comes into the running state. Just try to connect to the instance because of, and just if you have observed, it has the public IP. So once I have the public IP, will I be able to communicate with? Just RDP it, remote desktop connection. Okay, just copy the same, connect, and open the notepad. Okay, and it is just displaying the admin strat or administrator. The username is administrator, the password. Just I need to. Okay, I need to get the password. So go to RDP client and the get password. So upload the private key. So where it is, application key pair. Okay, decrypt password. So the password has been created. So I just copy the password. Okay, I am going to paste the password here. This is for web server. Okay, just copy the password and open the RDP. Where is RDP? RDP. Okay, RDP. Just click on connect and admin or administrator and enter the password. Just click on OK. Then you will be able to connect to the web server which has been created in the public subnet. So what I will do, can I be able to communicate with the private the instance which has been private subnet? No, it only has a private IP. So that's why what I will do, once I have logged in the instances which has been created in the public subnet, from that instance I am going to take the remote of the instances which has been created in the private subnet, because of those, even though the subnets are different, but the missions are in the same VPC only. So that's why. Okay. And it will take some time to get the things are loaded. Just we will have a look on this. So, and in the meanwhile, what I will do, just go NAT Gateway. Where is the NAT Gateway? Here, NAT Gateway. I don't have any NAT Gateway right now. Just I am going to create one NAT Gateway. NAT underscore GATE NAT Gateway, and the subnet under in which subnet you are going to create. NAT Gateway will, will be always created in the public subnet only. Okay, public connectivity type public. Okay, and elastic IP. So select elastic. There is no elastic IP. So okay, elastic IP has been created and it will be allocated. Okay, fine. Create NAT gateway. So up to now, the NAT gateway has been created successfully. Just click on elastic IP. Right now, you have one elastic IP in your account. Suppose if you want to delete this IP, first of all, you need to release this IP. Okay, just associate elastic IP address. It's already associated. Okay. NAT gateway. Just have a look. Yes, you are able to log into the mission. And one more thing, just please have a look. If you open the instance, what is the application server IP? This is the IP now. Just connect and the RDP client. Just get the password. So upload the file. Application server key pair. Okay. Open, decrypt the password, and the password is generated. Just copy the password here. Application server. Okay, just copy the password same and go to this, and okay. In server, what you will do, just type RDP. In server, you are going to click the RDP and just enter the private IP. No, what is the private IP? Just a moment. What is the private IP you have? Oh, just go to the instance. The private, where is the private application server? This is the private instance now. Just click here, and this is 192. I just copied the IP. The same I had placed here. Click on connect. It will ask the okay administrator. password is, as I have the password with me right now, just Control C and paste here. Just click on OK. The bash and concept is simply like here only. Because of when I want to access any instances which is in the other network, what I will do, I'm going to create the one of the instances which has been in the same network. From that instance, I'm going to create the instance which is required. Like this is for what in this scenario what I had done, I had created the VPC. In that VPC I had two subnets. The one is in public subnet, the private subnet. In public subnet I have one EC2 instance, and private subnet I have one more private instance. So what I will do, I am going to from internet I am going to connect to the instance which has been created in the public subnet. From that public subnet I am going to create to the instance which has been created in the private subnet. This is thing. Okay, right now I will be able to connect to the private private internet. Okay, and okay, this is the mission. In private instance, okay, just open the private instance and Windows Edge browser. Just open the Edge browser and try to access the internet. Will it be working? No. Just please have a look. The IP is 192.168.2.2.219. Everything, whatever the information is there, you can be able to visible from here. Just I had opened the Edge browser. I'm going to check whether it will be able to access internet or not. It will be a little bit slow because of I had created the free tier eligible EC2 instance, that is T2.micro. Suppose if I had selected the any other type of instance which is uh, chargeable, maybe there is a chance I will get the, maybe not maybe, there will be a definitely chance I will get the better speed than this. Okay. .google.com. It will show what it will show. It will never will be able to communicate with. Here just there is no internet access. So what I will do, right now, I have one NAT instance which has a public IP. Just if you see here, the public IP for address is 114.76. 114.76. Okay, 114.76. The same IP has been allocated now. Okay, fine. I am going to route tables. Click on the private route table, the routes, create the additional routes and add route. The target is NAT Gateway. The NAT Gateway which I have is NAT underscore gateway. The destination is internet. If I click save here, just if you see here, then it will be able to access the internet. Okay. Suppose if you want to access from the outside of the environment, so will I be able? RDP. What is the IP? 192.168.2.219. Will you be able to connect from internet? No. The NAT gateway only allows the outside traffic only. It will outward traffic only. It will never ever allow the incoming traffic. Means from internet, if anybody want to access the my EC2 instances from internet, it will never ever allow any connection. That is a beautiful. That is a beautiness of the NAT gateway. Okay, fine. And what are the steps which I had mentioned here? The same steps I had followed while doing the practical session. So I'm going to share the document, all these documents with you. You can keep it with you for your reference while doing the practical session. Then you will get the better understanding. Okay, everything, whatever the document I am showing to you, everything will be shared to you. Okay. Okay, team. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you. Thank you for joining the session. Bye bye.